Object oriented programming is a programming paradigm that is based on the concept of objects, which can contain data and behavior. Java is a language that is based on object oriented programming concepts and is used for developing a wide range of applications from desktop to mobile to web applications. So, today we are going to learn some object oriented programming concepts in Java, like classes and objects, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So, let's start with classes and objects. So, a class is a blueprint for creating objects, providing initial values for state and implementation of behavior. The state are called member variables, like you can see id, name, address. These are member variables. And the behavior is the creation of methods, like you can see display information. So objects are instances of a class and they have their own state and behavior. Like in this main method, what I have done is I have provided the other value for id, name, and address, and I have called the method. And let's just run this method to see what will happen. Yes, so as you can see, we have the id 1, name John Doe, and address 123 Main Street. And if I don't use this or initialize them, so what will happen? They will take the value that is already initialized in the above, that is defined in the class. As you can see, ID1, name Rahul, address Noida. So if I don't use or initialize the value in the main method, it will take what is already defined. So let us run it again. And after running it, let's give it some time. Yes. So we can see the ID is one, name Rahul, address is Noida. So it has taken the value that is already defined in the class. So the takeaway after learning the classes and object concept of object oriented programming is that now we understand that the class is a blueprint. And when we say a blueprint is that we can create multiple instances of the student class and assign values that are necessary at that particular time, because we can have multiple student in one class and every student will have different information like id, name, as well as address. And in our future lectures I can also tell you how to use the list just to save all these data. Let's move to our second concept of object oriented programming, and that is encapsulation. Encapsulation is a mechanism of wrapping data and behavior within a single unit, and that is class, and providing controlled access to that data. In Java, encapsulation can be achieved by using access modifiers. In this case, I have used private and public as an access specifiers. When I have used private on member variables, it means they are not accessible directly. There are three type of access specifiers: private, default, and public. Default is when you do not specify anything. It means if I am not writing anything and I'm straightforward specifying string name, then it's a default. Methods defined as private are not accessible outside the class, as well as the variables, if they are defined private, are not accessible outside the class. And the default variables or methods are only accessible within the package. Outside the package, they are also not accessible. Now, let's move to our third concept of object oriented programming, and that is inheritance. Inheritance is a mechanism of creating a new class, that is, a child class, on the basis of a previous existing class, that is a parent class. A child class inherits all the member variables as well as the methods of parent class. Now, let's see how it works. In this current example that I'm showing, what I have done is I have created two different classes. One is animal and the other one is dog. The dog extends animal. It means the eat method is already there, and that is what it is being depicted in the third class inheritance. And in the main static, like the main method, what I have done is I have called the eat method of the parent class. Now let's run this so that we'll be able to see whether it's working or not. Yes, the result is printed and the output is animal is eating. So this denotes that the dog class has all the methods of animal, and we are able to call the eat method as well. Now, let's move to our fourth concept of object oriented programming, and it is polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms, and it occurs between classes that have inheritance. Lets us inherit attributes and methods from another class, whereas polymorphism uses the same methods to do different tasks. As in this current example, all the three instances of animal class has different pointing classes. That's why they are doing different work. Like the first one, animal, the second one, pig says wee wee, and the third one is dog says bow wow.